Let's speak now to Ovigwe Eguegu, who is the co-founder of AfriPolitica and also policy advisor at Development Reimagined. And he joins us from Sokoto in northwestern Nigeria. Good to have you on the programme. Talk to us about how you've seen the response to these evacuations.
It's very interesting to see how quickly, Sudan has been able to, Sudan has descended into violence, because for leading up to the conflict, a lot of us thought because the RSF was packed out, they would have been able to resolve politically. And then secondly, when we saw the ceasefire announced before Eid, 72-hour ceasefire, the hope was that it would be a window to double down on diplomatic efforts for peace and also to get humanitarian support in. But what we've seen is the withdrawal of diplomats and their dependents from the country, and that is leading to assumptions as to what will follow.
Exactly.
On one hand, what we could see is because there are no foreign nationals, or at least to a large extent, no diplomatic presence in the country, that removes political pressure of whatever could happen, and this country can go into full competitive mode, because we know that both factions in Sudan right now have their benefactors outside of the country. And then secondly, because we're seeing this the pull out of diplomatic presence, that also means a lot, because this conflict can then be forgotten. So I think people in Sudan and people across the continent, they're really looking as to which of these two scenarios will play out in the coming week.
And just to be clear, will it be, as you said, that the conflict can be forgotten, or the other option, the other scenario?
Yeah, the other scenario being because, for instance, when you have foreign nationals present, those parties who support the various competing powers will be very cautious, because they don't want to risk a backlash at home, because if their citizens die overseas, I think that has been a major reason why we've not seen countries take position or start providing support to these warring factions.
Ovigwe, let's just talk about that international response. We're 2 weeks into this fighting. Where is a strong African Union voice, UN security voice? We did see that ceasefire over Eid called by the UN and the US. It didn't hold. Eid finishes today. What happens next? And where is that strong international response?
I think in the lead up to the 72-hour ceasefire, we did see the African Union Commission chairperson Musa Faki Mahamat organizing what is quite frankly the biggest multilateral gathering or meeting regarding the conflict. The AU, UN, UN Security Permanent P5, and then the 3 African countries in the UN Security Council. Qatar, UAE, Saudis. It was and the European Union. So it was the biggest. But what came out of that was mostly words: ceasefire, ceasefire, right? And then, of course, we know that the ceasefire was not upheld, because the prior to ceasefire, that 24 hours, was also not upheld. The context in Sudan is very, very complex, and words would not be enough. The AU needs to send a field mission into Sudan to try to get both sides to silence the gun. But they are not able to do that because they don't have enough leverage. And because the rival faction, both the RSF and the SCF, they have so many other key actors outside of the region that they are looking forward to support. And now that the troops, the citizens of Europe and America and all other countries are out of the country, I think Sudan is now really in a very precarious position, because it is only the cost and diplomatic cost and political cost for these countries is no longer there, and they can begin to really position themselves for a real showdown.
Ovigwe Eguegu, thank you so much. Great to get your analysis as always. Thank you.